Today, we're going to talk about something huge in the world of retail. It's this idea that workforce diversity, it's not just a nice-to-have social goal. Nope, it's actually a critical business strategy, a way to survive and a way to win. Let's get into it.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think is the single biggest challenge facing retailers right now? I mean, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it Amazon? Is it those crazy supply chains? What is it?
Well, while online shopping is definitely a massive piece of the puzzle, the real underlying challenge is, well, it's something much deeper. It all comes down to whether retailers can actually understand and keep up with a world that is changing, like, unbelievably fast.
And that brings us to what we could call the new retail reality. The game has changed. It's all about adapting to a customer who looks, thinks, and shops in ways that are totally different from even just a few years ago.
Here's the heart of the matter. All around the world, but especially in developed countries, consumer markets are going through these huge demographic shifts. We're talking major increases in minority populations, a total diversification of cultures, and you know what? A retailer that ignores this is basically choosing to become irrelevant.
Okay, so if the problem is a customer base that's constantly changing, what's the solution? Well, it's not just about a few new ads. It's about rebuilding the company from the inside out. And this is where diversity becomes an honest-to-goodness competitive strategy.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This comes straight from the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, SASB. They put it pretty plainly. As markets shift, retailers benefit big time from building a diverse workforce. And that means at all levels, from the folks on the sales floor right up to the C-suite.
And when you do this, you get some very real, very tangible benefits. I mean, think about it. A diverse team is just better at recognizing what diverse customers actually want. This lets companies tap into markets that were completely overlooked before. And the result? You get a real competitive edge, your reputation gets a boost, and, this is a big one, you lower your legal and regulatory risks. It's a win-win-win.
Now, that all sounds great in a presentation, right? But how do you actually turn this idea, this strategy, into something real? Something you can actually measure and track? That's really the million-dollar question, isn't it? If diversity is a true business advantage, then investors, and even us as customers, we need a reliable way to see which companies are actually doing the work and which ones are just talking.
And this is exactly where those SASB standards come into play. They create a common language, a standardized way for companies to report on this stuff, including workforce diversity, so that it's clear, consistent, and actually useful for people making investment decisions.
So what are they exactly? Well, you can think of them like a set of 77 different playbooks, one for every industry. They help companies pinpoint and report on the sustainability issues, the risks and the opportunities that could really, truly affect their financial performance.
So, how does this actually work for retailers? Well, when it comes to diversity and inclusion, the SASB standard actually boils it all down to just two key metrics. That's it. Two simple but incredibly powerful numbers. Seriously, just two things. But these two things, together, they paint a really complete picture of how a company is approaching diversity and inclusion. The first one is what we'd call a proactive measurement. It's all about representation. It's a snapshot of the company right now. It answers the question, who are we actually hiring and promoting? And here's what that looks like in practice. The standard makes companies break down their workforce data by gender and by various diversity groups, which can mean race, ethnicity, you name it. But here's the crucial part. They have to show the numbers for 3 different levels: executive management, non-executive management, and everybody else. This tells you if diversity is truly part of the company's DNA or if it's just happening at the entry level.
Okay, so the second measurement is the flip side. It's reactive. It's a backward-looking number that basically adds up the cost of getting the stuff wrong. It measures the financial damage from failures in diversity and inclusion.
And we're talking about cold, hard cash. Companies have to report the total dollar amount they've lost from legal proceedings tied to employment discrimination. See, this isn't some fuzzy abstract risk. It is a number that hits the bottom line, plain and simple.
And the scope here is wide. It covers claims related to discrimination based on pretty much everything: age, disability, race, gender, religion, national origin, the whole shebang. It's a complete accounting of where a company has stumbled legally with its employment practices.
So, when you put these two metrics together, you see they really are two sides of the very same coin. The first metric, that's about the opportunity. It measures the positive steps a company is taking to build a team that can win new markets. The second metric, that's the risk. It measures the very real financial price of failure.
All right, let's bring it all home. Why does any of this really matter?
At the end of the day, it's about two things: creating a real competitive advantage and building a system of genuine accountability.
The whole logic is actually pretty simple when you lay it out. Step 1, markets are diversifying. That's just a fact. Step 2, a diverse workforce is a massive advantage in serving those markets. And step 3, standards like SASBs create the accountability we need to make sure companies are actually walking the walk.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. The next time you walk into your favorite store, just take a look around. At the products, at the ads, at the people who work there. And just ask yourself, does this place reflect the world that I actually live in? Because, as we've just seen, the answer to that question is becoming more important than ever.